Welcome. It's time for What's Up and About, ladies. And of course, hey, beautiful Winfrey, you are welcome.
Welcome.
How was your weekend?
It was cool.
Until.
It was uneventful.
It was?
Very, very uneventful.
Not even our first goal?
Not
For
at
real?
all. It looked like a mistake to me.
Wow.
Oh.
Just saying.
Okay.
Can you zoom in on her?
No, I'm
not
just
us?
saying. It was a very, very unintentional goal.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, our captain, he did a great job. I think.
Do we really want to go into
wanna-
this?
No, we still have a
Really?
beautiful
No,
game for
really.
later,
We-
so...
really. I don't know.
I think you'll join him for school.
She's going to
should.
do
You
a
should.
beautiful game all by herself at this point. But hey, let's talk what's up and about, ladies. Very interesting. This was a WhatsApp conversation between an employer and an employee, and the employer thought that this was going to be great fodder for social media. Little did he know that he was going to be the villain, in my opinion, at the end of the day. Check this communication out. Someone says on Twitter, says, I have an employee whose monthly salary was 100,000 naira. When the fuel pump price increased to 630 naira per liter, I quietly increased all my employees' salaries, and this particular guy's salary was increased to 200,000 naira. Now, he received this 200K for months, underline months, until saying anything. Last month, I decided to revert back to his old salary to know what he would do. Today, he mustered the courage to send me the message below, feeling entitled to what's not his. Now, his job hangs in the balance. Now, the conversation goes thus. Good evening, sir. I received 100K instead of 200K. And he questions, good evening, Samuel. What do you mean you received 100K instead of 200K? How much is your salary? Samuel responds, 100K, sir. But I started receiving 200K since November, so I thought maybe it was increased. When you started receiving 200K, asks the employer, did you report that you received more than your salary? Samuel says, no, sir. Employer says, before resuming work on Monday, that's today perhaps, send the excess you received from November back to the company's bank account. This is if you still want to keep your job.
Wow. Wow.
I'm restraining myself. But what do you think?
Okay, so I feel like this employer doesn't really understand what he... I don't know what his direction was. First of all, reverting back to the 100,000. What was the whole idea? What was he trying to achieve?
He was trying to play God.
Wow.
He is apparently a narcissist and wants to see, he's like a little boy with a what do you call those glasses, who's burning ants with the sun's rays.
Oh, wow.
This employer does not even deserve to be an employer because he lacks the empathy to be one. I mean, why would you do that to anybody, first of all? Even because you have the ability to even better people's lives. Yeah. Now you want to see what it's going to be like if I just remove this little foundation.
Essentially, if he removed it because he didn't get a thank you or an acknowledgement, he didn't get an acknowledgement, he didn't get, any accolades for increasing
And if that's your reason
right?
for doing anything, then it's wrong right from the start.
From the beginning, yeah. Now, I also feel like the boss might be one of those people that's not really very approachable, because I feel like if the staff didn't approach him or didn't thank him, there was probably a reason for that.
He wants to be
You
worshipped.
have no
he wasn't,
idea
oh,
how
God,
long...
thank you. I received, thank you, sir. Let me carry your coffee.
Wow.
That's what most Nigerian employers or bosses want. And I'm like, come on, man. I can't use the words just because it's breakfast television, but that. Winfrey, please, you've been quiet. I'm sorry.
I like your shirts too. I just realized it has patterns.
Oh, thank you very much. It's not my dad's, it's mine this time.
What do you
Because this is my dad's tie, actually.
Okay, so I saw this story on social media, and then the first thing that comes to mind is literally the balance. I mean, I understand. I mean, of course, you work to earn money, right? And it has always been, I've had this conversation severally with different people, friends, colleagues, and all that, talking about, when I say colleagues, I don't mean you guys, talking about...
Okay, we know our place.
Talking about, okay, fine. I mean, I work for the money an entire month. When I receive it, should I say thank you? Do you understand? Yeah. However, speaking from an employer's point of view, I will not necessarily say he's trying to play God, because, as much as I understand where you're coming from, and he said to test it, so I don't think he's taking it back with I don't honestly feel he's going to really receive all that money, right? Even if the guy pays it back, because he had the empathy in the first place to double the salary without any request. I see it from that point. And also, this comes across to me as a transfer onto, you're working for me. It's not like a contract side thing. Do you understand? And even if it was a contract side thing, if your company should pay you a certain amount that is not just, you will not, I don't know, Sha. Well, me, I would say, Alpha.
Yeah.
I saw this, so. Do you understand? There was a time I was working somewhere. I actually went on leave for an entire month, and the request was literally that, okay, I'm not going to pay for this month because I'm actually going to be off work. At the end of the month, I get my salary. I call my supervisor and ask, okay, I saw this and everything. Like this was not the agreement. I was like, oh no, don't worry. I decided to do that regardless. Do you understand? So I totally get where the employer is coming from. I feel fine as much as yes, you're working for it. When you see an increase, whatever, it is still you didn't ask for it, right? The guy was thoughtful enough and generous enough to increase your salary. You should literally acknowledge. You don't have to say thank you. Oh, I saw this. That is honestly what's.
So I feel like him asking the question. I received 100K instead of 200 was where the issue was.
Yeah, so exactly. So when you should receive 200 instead of 100, you should say I received 200 instead of 100.
Do you know do you know this could have probably changed if the first sentence was "Good evening, sir. How was your weekend?" You know? I'm saying if he had I'm just saying if there was another message, not just
I received 100K.
Listen,
That was very.
I acknowledge what you said,
way.
but notice that Titi said something from before. This boss might not be an approachable boss.
Yeah.
You know how Nigerian
But you can send him a message when it's reduced.
Because
you can send him when. No. So you're approaching. No, that's the thing. So no, I feel. I mean, there should be. If you can send a message, acknowledge. You realize it was reduced. You didn't realize it was increased. I don't think that's a factor. It's a message.
Winfred, consider this. This is Nigeria. One thing. Let's take a look at the exposure of this boss and the exposure of this.
No matter the exposure, you're exposed to your account balance. You know it.
See. This is perhaps somebody who lives in Makoko, who has to make it through traffic every day to come and drive the bus, who has to make it through, at 4 a.m. every day just to get to the boss's house at 5 a.m. and all. Think about the standards this person is used to, what he lives, how he grew up and all of that.
More reason why you should acknowledge 100%
I'm coming.
your salary.
I admit and I enjoyed what you said about there's a culture. What you said about the boss being empathetic enough to actually increase the salary by 2. That's fantastic. But what was the aim? Now to remove
he
it.
said I wanted to try.
There was no need for that test. That's my point. There wasn't any test. If you are going to be good of heart, be good of heart till the end 100.
That's what I'm saying. I feel it was a test. Something he just did to trigger this conversation, to draw him. Fine, he could have called the guy and said, didn't you notice anything? No, he's not a narcissist. If you say it's a narcissist, then the employer is entitled.
So, on both sides, the employee, I had to think back about my own self and what I've done. So I know I've sent messages to management before, saying thank you, acknowledging.
Generally, you should be generous. Whether
I think
it's
a culture
gift
thing, it's a respect thing.
It's a person.
It
is
thing.
I didn't send them a message saying thank you.
This kind of person, they give you Christmas bonus. You say no. You will not.
I hope they don't even. Please, HR. Thank you. Thank you.
I sent a thank you message.
I did.
And I've done it a few times.
Thank you. Let's take a break, please. I have to go and write an email or PCU. We'll be back.